Welcome to ThinkTech on OC16, Hawaii's weekly newscast on things that matter to tech and to Hawaii. I'm Jay Fidell.
And I'm Maryann Sasaki.
ThinkTech tries hard to cover the important happenings in Hawaii and to bring you in-depth analysis with the people making them happen.
Our show this time will take us to the recent Bar Association annual fundraising dinner and roast of retired Hawaii Supreme Court Chief Justice Ron Moon.
Justice Moon served on the State Circuit Court from 1982 to 1990 and on the State Supreme Court from 1990 to 2010. He was a very popular and effective Chief Justice in an important period of Hawaii's judicial history.
He attended Coe College and the University of Iowa School of Law. He came back to serve as clerk to the then Chief Judge Martin Pence of the United States District Court for the District of Hawaii. He subsequently served as prosecutor for the city and county of Honolulu.
Justice Moon went on to practice with the law firm of Lipkaman, Ventura, Moon, and Ayabe. He left private practice in 1982 when he was appointed to the State Circuit Court.
Over the years, he has served with many professional and community organizations and received many honors and awards.
Justice Moon is a third-generation Korean American. His grandparents were among the first Korean immigrants who arrived in Hawaii in the early 1900s.
The dinner and roast took place at the Sheraton Waikiki Hotel on August 20th. More than 600 of Justice Moon's friends and associates showed up, and it was a remarkable event.
The proceedings began with a welcome by Jodi Lei Kimora Yi, 2016 Bar Association President.
It's so exciting that we are all here to celebrate the most prominent and well-known attorney and jurist, CJ Ronald Moon. And we're also here to raise funds for the Hawaii State Trial Judges Association, the Girls Court, the self-help centers, and the Access to Justice rooms. Before we proceed any further, I would like to call upon Mr. Aloha, Mr. Daniel Kaleikini, a very good friend of CJ Moon, to please come and give this evening's blessing.
E ano ai aloha kākoa pau na ohana ki ia, e mai mai e tomo mai na te atuho pau mai taia o e mahalulu kākou. Aloha!
The moderator for the roast was David Fairbanks. He gave what was called an opening statement.
What a great event up to now. Understand that is the largest attendance ever at this function. Sold out. And there was no sushi from Genki. The only question I have is why now? The CJ's been retired for 6 years. But it's for a great cause. Chief Justice Moon's Supplemental Retirement Fund. Now I understand that his post-retirement enterprise, Mooney's Cab, you know, 5222222, is getting off the ground, but it's had a little bit of a setback. Former Governor Cayetano had to give up driving part-time and go back to driving the laundry truck full-time. CJ asked former Governor Waihee if he would like to drive, but apparently his license is restricted. Ah, my goodness, I have never seen so many judges in one place at one time, certainly not at the courthouse.
The case in chief speakers, as they were called, were Governors George Ariyoshi and John Waihee, Robert Chang, Judge Michael Broderick, Momi Cazimero, retired Police Chief Lee Donahue, Colleen Hanabusa, and Judge Gary Chang.
You know, I had the privilege tonight of walking in that front door with Governor Ige. And I thought that was kind of cute, you know, the two of us walking in together. And I was on the left-hand side, he was on the right. He walked straight in and they asked me for $10. Tells you the difference between being in office and out of office, CJ. Now, but then again, you know, since he owns this place, I guess that's only right. After all, he has to pay the, $25 million a year mortgage. I mean, the only guy in Hawaii with a bigger mortgage than you, Governor, is Mayor Caldwell. Choo, choo, choo.
Thank you for this opportunity to speak on behalf of my former partner, Ron Moon. As Dave said, I joined the firm back in 1980, and it was an insurance defense firm, widely known, very well known, excellent reputation, and I had just come over from a plaintiff's firm, which is well known, and of course, prior to that, I was a law clerk in circuit court, so I had a pretty good working knowledge of the firm and how busy they were and what their trial calendar was like. And one of the biggest secrets that was kept by the court to the rest of the attorneys in litigation, of course, is the fact that we were often double and triple set, this firm was, for trials throughout the year.
As a circuit court judge, CJ kept a small black book. No one knew what he wrote until today. Stella found the book in the refrigerator next to the kimchi. I want to read just two entries which have remained confidential all these years. September 6, 1985. Tell Fairbanks his zipper was down during voir dire. Note to self, absolutely nothing was visible. February 3, 1990, Dan Healy, Jim Branham, Mike Broderick, find someone I can trust who isn't bald. CJ, how's that? Is that all right? We went back and we read the court transcript of Judge Moon's trials. I wanted to read you just one. Judge Moon, please identify yourself for the record. Defendant, Colonel David Jackson. Judge Moon, what does the colonel stand for? Defendant, well, it's kind of like the honorable in front of your name. It doesn't stand for anything.
Moon over Hawaii, chosen to reign supreme. High on a bench with gavel robed in distinguished black. Moon over Hawaii at Ali'olani, draped in his ahula cape, Kamehameha Nui. Moon retired his gavel and laddered up on his roof. Lacked precedent and judgment that left behind at work. Now Stella is seeking options to bench Ron Moon. She did not have to worry when he was C.J. Moon.
You know, we were given strict instructions about time limits, 3 minutes. And as a police officer, a former police officer, we follow instructions. So all of my notes, CJ, about you is on this little piece of paper. Actually, you're kind of boring. There's nothing much about you. But as it was mentioned, I did meet Chief Justice Moon in about 1995 when he was asked to come on to the Kickstart board. We were just forming our board of directors. And he wanted to come on. We had his fellow classmate, Amy Abe, was introducing him to the board. And so I asked him, why would a man with your status want to come on to this board? And he said, I believe in being a role model. As a Chief Justice, I ask all of our attorneys to get involved with different projects and do it pro bono. But before I can ask them to do that, I have to show that I also do it. And that's why he's been with us for 22 years now on Kickstart. Thank you so much for your service, CJ.
This is an interesting political season, so we cannot let it go unnoticed. that C.J. Moon has such strong convictions. He has not denounced his Republican Party, and he has not denounced Donald Trump. In fact, he kind of likes the guy, right, C.J.? Now you gotta think about this in the context that it is the two Democratic governors on this table that gave him his whole judicial career, and it is the democratically controlled legislature that confirmed him. And we never asked him what his ethnic background was, what his party affiliation was, whether he supported the wall around Waihee. We never asked him any of those questions.
안녕하세요. Okay, pretty good. We got to do a little better because you all are honorary Koreans tonight because this is CJ Moon's night. So it's 안녕하세요. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, pretty good, pretty good. Tonight, we are honoring a great and proud dignitary of Korean ancestry. No, not Kim Jong-un. He was busy tonight. Something about a rocket test. No, this Korean gentleman rose to the pinnacle of his career. No, not as an exotic or pole dancer, although I am told he has great rhythm and gymnastic ability, except not on the roof of a house. No, this honoree is a trailblazer. He boldly went where no Korean man had gone before. He was the first member of the Korean Bar Association, only this bar association did not have any lawyers as members. The lawyers were only customers of that bar association.
Justice Moon then had the chance to provide what was called a rebuttal.
You know, since retiring, it's been now 6 years. And C.J. Rectenwall has served for 6 years. Last year, on my 5th anniversary, I had a grand time. I really celebrated. With Stella's permission, I went out with the boys. And I admittedly had too much to drink. And you know, all my years as a lawyer, and then as a judge, I lectured time and time again, you cannot drive and drink. And there I was in a dilemma. But all of you will be happy to know that I, Ron Moon, took the bus home. Okay. And when I got home, I was so happy and pleased with myself. I was elated, because that was the first time I ever drove a bus. You know, it's amazing to be here in front of all of you, and among most of you are lawyers, attorneys. You know, when I came back from law school, passed the bar and got my ID number, it was 674. Now I understand it is 10,533. Can you imagine that? Is Avi Soifer here, Dean of the law school? Where is Avi? Avi, I tell you something, you've done an amazing job pumping out all these attorneys. And I suggest to you, and I will predict, ladies and gentlemen, that come 2050, Hawaii will have more attorneys than human beings. You know, at the outset, I would like to thank all of you present, first of all, for being here today to pay tribute not to me, but really to the judiciary and to the beneficiaries that this fundraiser is benefiting. You know, we talked about this months ago, And I want to thank Jodi, President of HSBA, and Rai Saint Chu. She's here to speak to you, and I know she's going to be very, very brief because I'm taking her minutes. And she's with the foundation. She's president of the foundation. But both of these women have to be congratulated for agreeing to have this fundraiser go to the beneficiaries that are listed, with the significant portion of the proceeds going to our trial judges. And to President of the Trial Judges Association, Jeanette Castanetti. Jeanette, please raise your hand. I want to thank her for all of her efforts in getting all of the judges together and motivating them to participate. Because I think, and I'm not real certain, but I'll ask Jodi and Rai Saint Chu, isn't this the first time that we have had participation so heavy from the judges? Correct? Thank you. Give the judges a hand, please. Now, I also want to thank the co-chairs. That's my former partner, Sidney Ayabi, who has become, and I'm sorry to say this, but he is a dinosaur now. He is a dinosaur. And also, the other co-chair is Carol Manley. Now, Carol is the one that did the trivia that was passed out to you, and about 4 jokes, I think, allegedly from me. If you laugh, it's from me. If you don't laugh, she probably thought it up herself. But the first joke, it's about the Korean old man and the woman. I think that's pretty funny. So, but I want to thank those co-chairs for doing such a fantastic job. You know, Sydney's job was to gather up the list of roasters. And he put out the cry for help. Please send in your names if you want to be a roaster at Moon's Roast. And he said he was inundated with volunteer to be roasters. And he said he had to reduce the list a number of times. And finally, when he got to 8, he said people were criticizing him. Too much, too many people. Cut it some more. So he said he went from the bottom up. And I'm sorry, Gary, you were on the bottom. And so he asked Gary, look, how about doing us a favor, because we have too many roasters. Please withdraw. You know, Judge Ibarra withdrew upon asking him, Judge, are you here? Chicken. Gary Chang said, no. I will sue you if I don't get a chance to roast Chief Justice Moon. I'm not going to lose this chance. Sure enough, he gave it to me, didn't he? Burned to a crisp.
Our moderator, David Fairbanks, then provided a closing statement.
Thank you, Chief Justice Moon, I guess. Please know that we all truly love you, and I'm glad you were here for this Lifetime Achievement Award.
The proceedings were concluded with mahalo remarks from Rai Saint Chu, 2016 Bar Foundation President.
Chief Justice Moon, thank you for being such a great sport and supporting our dinner, making it the most successful ever. To the speakers, table sponsors, and all our friends, mahalo for supporting the Bar Association as we further our mission to promote justice in the legal profession. As the president of the Hawaii State Bar Foundation, we are the charitable organization that supports the Hawaii State Bar Association. Besides raising money from this annual dinner, we also raise funds through the generous donations of individuals that we call fellows of the Foundation. These individuals, many have the purple lace. We are building a legacy of giving and promoting justice in the community.
The Hawaii State Bar Association was organized in 1899, incorporated in 1985, and became the Professional Association for Hawaii Attorneys in 1989.
Its 8,000 members are located all over the state and the world and are involved in every aspect of community, business, government, and the nonprofit sector.
The Hawaii State Bar Foundation was formed in 2012 and is dedicated to coordinating fundraising and funding awards for public service and justice projects in Hawaii.
And now let's take a look at our ThinkTech calendar of events going forward.
There's so much happening in Hawaii. Sometimes things happen under the radar and we don't hear much about them. But ThinkTech can take you there.
Remember, you can watch ThinkTech on OC16 several times every week to stay current on what's happening in government and communities around the islands.
Remember also that ThinkTech broadcasts its daily talk shows live on the internet from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. on weekdays. Then we broadcast our earlier shows all night long, and some people listen to them all night long.
If you missed a show, or if you want to replay or share any of our shows, they're all archived on thinktechhawaii.com and YouTube. For our audio stream, go to thinktechhawaii.com/radio.
Visit thinktechhawaii.com for our weekly calendar and live stream and YouTube links, or sign up in our email list and get the daily docket of our upcoming shows.
ThinkTech has a high-tech green screen studio at Pioneer Plaza. If you want to be part of our live audience, or if you want to participate in our programs and help us raise public awareness, you can contact us at thinktechhawaii.com.
Give us a thumbs up on YouTube or send us a tweet at ThinkTechHI. We'd like to know how you feel about the issues and events that affect our lives in Hawaii. We want to stay in touch with you, and we'd like you to stay in touch with us. Let's think together.
like to speak out on an issue or event, you can. We love the First Amendment, and we love hearing from our viewers. You can come down to our Speaker's Corner and make a video statement on the web. See ThinkTechHawaii.com.
And you can call in and join our talk shows live. While you're watching any of our shows, you can call in at 415-871-2474 and pose a question or make a comment.
We'll be right back to wrap up this week's edition of ThinkTech, but first we want to thank our underwriters.
Okay, Maryann, that wraps up this week's edition of ThinkTech. Remember, you can watch ThinkTech on OC16 several times every week. Can't get enough of it, just like Maryann does. For additional times, check out OC16.tv.
For lots more ThinkTech videos and for underwriting and sponsorship opportunities on ThinkTech, visit ThinkTechHawaii.com. Be a guest or a host, a producer or an intern, and help us reach and have an impact on Hawaii.
Thanks so much for being part of our ThinkTech family and for supporting our open discussion of things that matter to Hawaii. You can watch this show throughout the week and tune in next Sunday evening for our next important weekly episode. I'm Jay Fidell.
And I'm Maryann Sasaki. Aloha, everyone.